Rick Scott, we actually invited him here today. And
I don't see him.
so here he is. So the governor of Florida right now has largely been missing in action on solar policy and solar energy and energy policy generally. MIA, missing in action. Because what we've seen is that since 2010, we actually installed more solar in the year 2010 in Florida than we have in the past 3.5 years under his administration. Now that is an indictment of the fact that we have not seen solar growing, the solar potential, and this is even with the price of solar over the last 3.5 years has dropped approximately 50%. So the price is coming down, but we're doing less solar in the Sunshine State, and that is unacceptable. And why? Why do you think we're doing that? So far, the utilities, what we know, have already given over $2.5 million to Governor Scott's campaign. Again, it's the pay-for-play politics that's dominating the agenda, and they get what they want. So that's why we've come up with a new rule. You've seen Bill Maher talks about new rules? This is the new rule.
Vote him out of office!
You can't be the governor of the Sunshine State if you don't support solar power. The rule. You cannot be the governor of the Sunshine State if you do not support solar power. So, we have a chant. Here's the chant. When I say Rick Scott, you say MIA today, gone tomorrow. Ready? Rick Scott!
MIA today, gone tomorrow!
Rick Scott!
MIA today, gone tomorrow!
Rick Scott!
MIA today, gone tomorrow!
All right, so what's the fix? It's very simple. People are powerful. You are powerful. You have the power to make the change. There are people here signing up to make sure you've got the right voter registration, that you've got your address right, because you have the power in a democracy to create change. Now I need y'all to do something for me. How many of y'all saw the Oscars where Ellen DeGeneres got up there and she did that sort of selfie thing? Has everybody got their glasses? I want everybody to put on their solar Uprising glasses, okay? Jeanne is going to up here. She's going to take some pictures. And what we're going to do, if I can get my phone, is I'm going to take a picture, and I want you guys to be in that picture. So here we go. All right, here we go. Everybody got the glasses on? We're at the solar Uprising. So what is the fix? The fix is organize, mobilize, and create change. We have social media now like we've never had before. We can create change through the internet like we've never had before. So you need to be putting your pictures up, communicating with folks. But let me tell you, here's the chant. When I say corrupt power, you say people power. Ready? Corrupt power!
People power!
Corrupt power!
People power!
Corrupt power!
People power!
All right. So why are we here? What are we doing today? We're bringing change. We're going to bring reform to leadership, and we're going to basically change the power structure here, and we're going to make solar a dominant energy source. And that's why when I say solar, you say uprising. Solar!
Uprising!
Solar!
Uprising!
Solar!
Uprising!
All right. So now let me introduce Susan Glickman, who is the director of the Southern Alliance for Clean Energy, the Florida director, and she is AKA Clean Energy Girl, and she makes a difference here in Tallahassee every day.
What a beautiful group on a gorgeous, sunshiny day, right? So I'm Susan Glickman, Florida Director of Southern Alliance for Clean Energy. I've been working in and around this building for a long time. I was a page when I was 13 years old. Where are those middle schoolers from Cornerstone with their solar cars? over there. I was a runner at a law firm, biggest law firm in the state, my freshman year in college. I've been coming in and out of this Capitol for a long time. And I did tobacco policy for a while for the Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids. Does anyone remember the very highly successful truth campaigns? Right? Kept 25,000 kids from smoking, theoretically dying, saved $1 billion in long-term health care costs, and the Florida legislature's response to that successful program was to kill it. And they did that because of the influence of the tobacco companies. So there isn't a day that goes by, and I've been working on climate and energy issues for 14 years, where people don't say, why don't we have more solar in the state of Florida? Well, we don't have more solar in the state of Florida because people who are making a lot of money selling fossil fuels, the coal industry, the gas industry, the oil industry. That's right, they're spending a lot of money to keep the status quo in place. Steve already had you pull out your cell phones. We don't have to go any farther than to look at your cell phones to know that the way we are going to meet our energy need in the 21st century is wholly different than what we have been doing. And it's time for a change. We need to unlock the market. There were some very reasonable proposals put forward. Most states have targets for renewable energy and for energy efficiency, but not the state of Florida. We can do better, and the only way we're going to do better is to have you involved, you and everybody else that's at home and who's not here today. So we need to get plugged in and educated, because the solutions are there. Steve already mentioned the cost for solar has come down in the last 3 years about 60%. So it's not about cost. So if somebody tells you renewables or solar costs too much, that's not true. And if we actually paid for the cost of coal, the carbon pollution, the asthma, the heart disease, the respiratory problems that come from coal and other fossil fuels, then for sure solar wouldn't cost more. So had we kept on a couple years ago, we actually made some movement in the state of Florida. And if we had kept on that pace, we had more excitement, more people ready to come to the state. The Florida Senate passed a renewable portfolio standard and sent it to the Florida House. And the Florida House balked because at the time they wanted to lift a 20-year ban on nearshore drilling. Can you imagine? 10 miles to the shore, and we're going to drill for oil. And at that time, Governor Charlie Crist had been the person who suggested to the Florida Public Service Commission that they develop a rule for a renewable portfolio standard. And he fought very hard, and he fought in the House, and I remember that last day when the bill died, he was over trying to talk to the Speaker of the House and get him to move on that, and they didn't. So that would have been a target for energy, and that would have helped create a market. So whether we establish a target for renewables, or we get rid of that tangible personal property tax on leased equipment, there are a number of ways we can do it policy-wise, but we need to do it. So I am very proud to bring up and introduce a neighbor of mine. I'm from Tampa, so my neighbor across the bay in St. Petersburg, who's been in the state Senate as Attorney General, fought for consumers on rate increases for utilities, and as governor, did more to move this state to clean energy than we've done for every governor previous to that. So I'm very proud to introduce Governor Charlie Crist.
Good afternoon. Get on the podium so they can pick up the sound. All right, Susan, thank you. I'm honored to be here. You know, we are the Sunshine State, after all. I'm from St. Petersburg, Florida. St. Petersburg is the Sunshine City and the Sunshine State. In fact, it used to be in St. Pete that if the sun didn't shine, at least some during the day, the next day the newspaper was for free. Florida is all about sunshine. And right now we're not utilizing the sunshine the way we need to. God gives it to us. It comes up every morning. Every morning. And yet we're not utilizing this God-given gift in the way that we need to, especially in Florida, our Florida. There is a cloud blocking the sun from coming in, and his name is Rick Scott. We've got to we do. We've got to make a change. We've got to do better. And I know in my heart that we can. And I know in my soul that we will. All we have to do is make sure people sign up, they get registered, get organized, you get out there, and we vote. And it's only 7 months away. Actually, maybe 6 months and a few days. But it's coming. And you know what? They know it's coming. They know it's coming. They see it every day and they feel it every day, and so do I. You know, I've been to Tallahassee in a couple months, but every time I come here, I feel it from people. I went to the Circle K this morning. After I went swimming at Myers Park, I swim every morning. It's a good idea. Stay in shape and be ready, because we got a fight ahead of us. But it's a fight worth winning. And we're going to win it because of you and because of our fellow Floridians. Because we deserve to have clean energy. We deserve to have solar energy. Let me show you something that we developed. Actually, Carol and I, my wife, we developed this. That's our logo for the campaign. You see what's on top of that? It's the sun. It's not an accident that that's there. It's important that we send a message. We send a message all over this state, what we want and what we need in the future, and we're going to get it. We're going to clean up Florida. We're going to clean up Florida by going more solar. You know, I met with a guy not long ago, Elon Musk. You may have heard of him. Developed the Tesla cars. Well, he also developed a company called Solar City, one of the largest solar energy companies in North America. And he said, Charlie, you guys ought to be the global example of solar energy on the planet. You're the Sunshine State. We can do it. We can do it. And I know that we will. With your help and with God's blessing, we'll get it done, and we'll not only clean up our environment, we'll clean up that place and get it done soon. God bless you and God bless Florida. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. And now I'm going to bring, one before I bring up the next speaker, I just want to mention that if you're not registered to vote, or if you need to make an address correction or anything, there is Leon County Supervisor of Elections have a table right over there where the shade is. And League of Women Voters, and let me give a shout out to the League of Women Voters. I know there's a lot of you here. Where are you? Very good. And they're walking through the crowd as well. So thank you very much for helping with that, and the League for supporting clean energy. So next I'd like to bring up a dear friend of mine, and I never like to say an old friend of mine, but a friend that I have been friends with for a very long time. And that's Tallahassee Commissioner Scott Maddox, the former mayor of the city of Tallahassee, and also former president of the Florida League of Cities, and he knows what local governments need to thrive and to bring clean energy. Scott?
Thank you, Susan. How about my friend Charlie Crist? A long vote in November? It's important. It's important. And I have to clarify something. An earlier speaker talked about what's going on in Tallahassee, and he was saying that things are bad that are going on in Tallahassee. Well, it's not bad in Tallahassee, it's bad in the building behind me. Tallahassee's got renewable energy, and this building right here, City Hall, has a commitment to solar. We own the electric utility here. We have a commitment to solar, we have a commitment to renewable energy. And the state of Florida is a sunshine state, and I'm proud to live in a state that's called the Sunshine State. And Governor Crist, and I'm going to call him Governor Crist because he's going to be governor again. Governor Crist put it best. Even on sunny days, there are dark clouds. And we have some dark clouds. Millions of dollars that are pumped into political campaigns and parties to fight solar energy are dark clouds. Millions of dollars paying for lobbyists to keep solar energy down are dark clouds. Yet 80% of Floridians believe that we should increase renewable energy products. 85% of Floridians say that the Florida legislature should invest in solar energy. So to the Florida legislature, I say, forget the clouds and let the sun shine in. To Governor Rick Scott, I say, don't fail to lead on this crucial issue. In the immortal words of George S. Patton, lead, follow, or get the hell out of the way. Let the sun shine in. To the utilities around the state of Florida, I say, don't fear the future. It is here. Let the sun shine in. For our homeowners, for our school children, for our Mother Nature, we are the Sunshine State. Let the sun shine in.